the Invincible Iron Man 2-pack consisting of Iron Man in his Extremis armor, and we finally get a comic version of the Mandarin. The questions are, is this Iron Man a reissue or is it an update? And for the Mandarin, is this the Mandarin that we have been looking for? We'll talk about it on the other side. What is good, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again with another action figure review. You see what we got going on right there in front of us. We've got a 2-pack. We have got Iron Man in his Extremis armor. And for the first time in Hasbro, comic-wise, we have got his arch nemesis, the Mandarin. Now, at first glance, all you see is a guy with a mustache and goatee sporting a suit with the long coat. But nope, that is the Mandarin there. He has appeared this way. Unfortunately, it's not the way most envisioned getting our first Mandarin. We wanted to see him in, some wanted to see in the outfit he wore in the 90s cartoon. Some wanted to see some variation of whatever costumes he's worn in the comics. Recently, this is how he's appeared, and quite frankly, because of all of the political issues in regarding bringing the Mandarin out, which is the reason why it's taken this long, Hasbro's decided to go with this version. So we do have him. As far as Iron Man is concerned, we have seen the Extremis armor before, and at first glance, looking at him in this packaging, it looks like it's just a reissue. But it's supposed to be an update. We'll see when we get him out of packaging. We've got the logo there at the top. On one side, we have thumbnails of both characters. That one of the Mandarin looks cool with that hole in the world and Iron Man in his hands. And then on the other side, we've got a couple thumbnails at the bottom. And in the rear, we have some nice thumbnails of Iron Man and of the Mandarin. We get no readouts, no write-ups, nothing like that, because apparently, for the most part, we're past that era. Let's check out the accessories before we get into the figures, starting with Iron Man's. He comes with an extra set of hands in the form of a pair of fists. He also comes with, as is typical with Iron Man figures, he has some blast effects that can fit either in his feet or in the palms of his hands, the ones that he's currently showing as he came out of packaging that way. And finally, his helmet. Got another helmet for you. Or I should say the helmet, since he comes out of packaging with his head on. His unmasked or unhelmeted head. That's what he got. As far as the Mandarin is concerned, he too comes with a set of fists, but these are the ones that are the most significant accessories in his loadout. These are the hands that have the rings. And they're the only hands that have rings. The hands he came out of packaging, they have no rings. And then this third set of hands, which are very gnarly and clawed, and they just look, yeah, they're just crazy. But these are this way for a reason, and that's because you get this head sculpt right here. And it's basically of him aged out. The hair is gray and long, and of course just crazy. He's got that look on his face, and he's busting the mustache goatee effect. You got to really look in there to see that, because it is white, but that's what it is. Finally, Mando comes with, I shouldn't call him Mando, you get him confused with the Mandalorian. The Mandarin comes with these effects that we've seen, oh, 1,000,001 times before. This time they are molded in translucent, a nice kind of red, because it's like a strawberry red or whatever. But they're the same. You know how they work. They wrap around wherever you want them to wrap around. And I don't know how apropos they are for a power set for the Mandarin. But that is what we got. Taking a look at Tony first and looking at that head sculpt. It's very nice. And he's in this shiesty, I believe they're referred to as. And it looks very good. His facial print is nice. Once again, that tech has not failed to impress. Very good. And this is essentially the Extremis armor. You know, it's the color is a little bit. It's both tints of the red and the yellow are different from the original one that we got. We'll see that momentarily, and it's sleeker, this one for sure. That is not a pin. That is an energy nodule on both sides there. So don't mistake that for pins. He had that on the previous version too. The previous version was also pinless, so that isn't really changed. What's changed is in here in the torso. We've got more movement in the torso. So since I already stated that, let's check out that articulation right now. Head can go up that far. It is on a hinge, ball hinge. It can go down that far. He's got his neck is on a ball hinge, and that helps with the articulation of going down and going back. So you see that. So that's very good considering Iron Man is a flyer. So you got that. Shoulders, he can get you. I can get more on the other side. He can get you a T-pose almost fully, but that's because the epaulets, the shoulder pads, they get in the way. They don't get in the way of rotating around. He does have butterfly joints, so you gotta love that. He can rear back that far. The pads are impeding that, but at least we have that articulation. It also helps. We can't cross completely, but he can get his arms. They go in slightly, so that's pretty cool. He's got the biceps. He's got the double jointed elbows. I unfortunately have a blemish on my model here, my figure. I hate when that happens. Fortunately for me, it doesn't happen often. He's got the horizontal hinges, and they twist. That's on both sides. Now for that torso action, he's got a diaphragm that you don't get much going forward. Going back, you get more going back. But here's what's great. He has this inverted crunch. So you combine that, and look how far forward you can get him. And with help, you can push him down even further. So that's great right there. We've never had that kind of articulation on an Iron Man figure before. You can go back that far. You're going to get your side to side at that diaphragm, and you're twisting, shouting. As far as his legs are concerned, you can move his side panels. At least that one wanted to move. This one is moving too. Cool. And they get out the way so you can spread the legs that far out. His legs, they don't really drop down. They're just not all the way up there. You can kick forward that far back. The die cut is in the boot, so that's good. Nicely well hidden. You've got the double jointed knees. You can see that there. And he can point his toe that far forward. Pretty cool. That far up. He's got your ankle pivot and, of course, holes at the bottom of those feet. Pretty cool right there. I'm going to remove his head so I can put on the helmet, because that's going to be needed. if I can get it on. There it is. It's on. It didn't snap on, but it went on. It eased on. So there he is with the helmet on. And that's because now I want to bring in the first version. And that's what we got going on right there. You can see the different colors. We've got a more of a I would say that on the first version it's more of a platinum for the yellow, and the reds are definitely different colored. The yellows here are more yellow. I won't even lie, they both look kind of plasticky. That's not a word, but that's what I'm using right now. But those are essentially the differences in terms of the look. Once again, he's got the inverted crunch. This one does not. Other than that, I mean, straight up, at first glance, they look the same, so you gotta love that. And here's the advantages of that inverted ab crunch. You can definitely get Iron Man into the superhero landing, and I can say this has been the easiest that I've been able to get any Iron Man figure into this pose. Now we're looking at the Mandarin, and once again, this particular version of him is disappointing to a few people because we wanted to see a shall we say, a more colorful version of this character. Instead, we get him in the suit. But once again, this is how he has appeared most recently in the Iron Man books. Most people don't care about that. We want classic Mando, but I don't know if we'll ever get that because of the aforementioned issues that Hasbro has to deal with in regards to political correctness, this, that, and the third. All of that, you know, has gone into it. But this is what we got. He's got the long coat and the windswept tie going on. The facial print looks really nice too. Like I said, he's got that mustache goatee connect, looking good. He's got the long hair flowing in the back, and yeah, it's cool. And then, of course, you go down and he's got the shoes. I'm not crazy. The other reason why I'm sure people aren't crazy about this is because even though he's got the long coat and stuff like that, and they have made improvements on it, it's still a civilian buck, especially when you get down to the legs, and you're not going to get much articulation with those feet because of the pants. Speaking of articulation, he's on a hinge as well. He can look down that far. You know he ain't looking up because of that hair. He does have, does he have? Yeah, he's got neck action in there as well. Of course, you can get him round and round. It's going to be impeded somewhat because of the hair. He can get you a T-pose. He can rotate at the shoulders. He does not come with butterfly joints, so your rear back is definitely limited. And when I was working the joints, my right arm actually came out. It wasn't broken, it just popped out. So keep that in mind, bear that in mind, that may happen with yours. And I can feel that I can pull it out again if I wanted to. You've got swiveling biceps, double jointed elbows, hands swivel and they hinge horizontally. All his hands do. And I'm double checking myself to make sure I didn't give you a false spell there. But yeah, all of his hands swivel horizontally. He's got an ab crunch, so he can get you forward that much. He can go back, but the coat is going to impede his going back. But he has it there. He's got the waist swivel. He can do the splits pretty decently, even though it's being impeded by the coat. Kick 90. Go back a little bit. He's got the thigh cut, the double jointed knees. You can see that right there. And he can point his toe that far forward, that far up. You're not going to get that much up because of the pant at the bottom of it. You got the ankle pivot. He's got holes. His holes are at the top of his foot. And that's how it goes down for the Mandarin. So, like I said, I've never been happy with civilian articulation. We'll call it that. But this isn't that bad. You see he stood up pretty nicely. The problem in the past has always been you couldn't get the shoes up far enough for the figure to stand straight up and down. He'd always be partially leaning back, and that's what would lead to it falling. But we're pretty cool here. Here he is with the ringed fists, which is what I'm sure most will display him as. But I need to tell you something. Two things. First, let me get into this one thing that you guys really need to know. When I removed the hands, the left hand just came off completely from the hinge, and I had to use a set of needle nose pliers to get the rest out. So I'm going to have to effect repairs on this. So QC on mine was lacking in that regard. Hopefully that won't happen to yours if you get this set. The other thing I wanted to talk about is more about the character himself. The reason, most likely, I'm not going to swear to it like I know everything, but the reason that he only has the one set of hands with the rings, and he came out of packaging with no rings on those hands, and his gnarly hands that goes with the older head, that's because in this incarnation right here, where he's sporting a suit, he wasn't wearing the rings. His rings had been fused to his spine. And I think that's what, that's what Hasbro was going for. And of course, they knew that we would go to Rhode Island and tear the building down if we didn't get rings with the very first offering of the Mandarin. So that's the main reason why we only have one set of rings, and the other two sets of hands are ringless. And here's the look that is, I guess I can say, most well known for in the suit when he got aged, and with the gnarly hands and stuff. But yeah, his rings were fused to his body, to his spine. So I'm quite sure that's the reason why everything went down the way it did with this, our first offering of the Mandarin. And when I say first offering, I mean from Hasbro. We have seen the Mandarin before in the Toy Biz line. This was during when they had their face-off 2-packs. And they came with variants. There were I believe three? Actually 4. There were 4 sets of Versus 2-packs. And of course, Mandarin came alongside Iron Man, and they all 4 sets had variants. So that's why you see 2 of them here. The red on our right is I want to say that, yeah, that's the this was the standard, and on the left with the mask was the variant. I could be confused, and they're vice versa, but you see the differences right there. That was the first and only time we got the Mandarin, and he came in this rubbery overlay, which means there was no movement. You couldn't pose him. He was essentially a statue. You couldn't even really pose his arms in any kind of way, because the rubber of his costume would force the arms back down. So our only time that we got the Mandarin, we got him twice, basically at the same time, but both were essentially useless. So that is the Invincible Iron Man 2-pack. And I didn't mention it's an Amazon exclusive, so I guess I'm mentioning it now. Consisting of Iron Man Extremis and the first ever from Hasbro Mandarin. My thoughts on these figures, well, The review basically told it all. The Iron Man figure is not a reissue. It is a redo. We got, and the redo is basically all in the ab crunch. That ab crunch changed a lot of things for this figure. The posability factor has increased. I'm not going to give it a number, but it has increased the play factor right along with it. You saw that I could get him into the superhero landing, and trust me, I got him into it with ease, and it's all because of that crunch for sure. His unmasked portrait looks very good. He's in that shiesty, as it's called. As far as the Mandarin is concerned, it's not the Mandarin that we wanted, but it's the Mandarin that we got, and it's the first time we've gotten him ever in Hasbro, so we have to be kind of happy about that. He only came with a set of fists that have his rings and 2 other sets of hands. The hands that came out of packaging had no rings. They were kind of like, just plain regular hands. And he also came with a set of these gnarly hands. He's sporting one on his right hand right now. He also came with another head sculpt of him older, which is the real way he appeared like this, and the reason he didn't have the rings is because they are affixed to his spine. So that's why he came out of packaging with no rings on his hands and with an extra set of hands, these gnarly ones with no rings. And like I said before, Hasbro knew that we would have set the world ablaze if we didn't get any ringed hands at all. So Hasbro did give us that. We got a couple of those whack energy effects to go along with it. I had one of my hands, the ones out of packaging, the left hand just separated from the peg, so I had to use a set of needle nose to pull that out, and I'll have to effect repairs, but it's still a good set. Can't get too excited about it because I, along with the rest of the community, had hoped to have gotten the Mandarin in a more classic visage, but Hasbro had to do what Hasbro had to do and still find a way to bring the Mandarin to us. We may be able to kit bash that head with some other costumes. Maybe the Trevor I was about to say Fitzroy, Slattery, or whatever his name was from the Iron Man 3 movie. Might be able to use that, or find something. Anyway, I'll leave that to you guys to try that. And yeah, that's it for this one. Iron Man Extremis, the Mandarin, Amazon exclusive 2-pack, the Ruckus. Until next time, peace.